Okay, welcome back again to some more 0K action. It's going to be the first game of the finals. So we'll just go into the game. Okay, so yeah, first game of the finals for the 1v1 0K tournament for September 2014. So it's been quite action-packed to say the least, and it's going to be GoogleFrog versus Fealthas. There's a bit of an elo difference, but both of them have completely trounced their respective opponents in previous rounds, so both of them are obviously in very good form, or maybe their opponents are not that good compared to them, that is. But there you go, it's still interesting to see these two stalwarts versus each other. GoogleFrog is currently ranked number 1 and for 0K overall, and Fealthas is apparently not even in the top 10. Which is interesting given that their elos are not really that much different overall, but in any case, yeah, we've got spiders for GoogleFrog and Fealthas going for planes, and I believe this is going to be our best out of 5, I think it should be anyway. So yeah, Fealthas just going to be flying overhead with his bomber, bombing out one of the mixers, makes sense, and yep, doing a good job microing his bomber out of there just to avoid extra missiles from those thingamajiggies, from those defenders. This is going to be a very asymmetrical battle just because of the difference in mobility and all that. I mean, spiders are not particularly fast units to say the least, but they can go up and down these slopes, which I believe the bots cannot. Let's just select a bot and check it out. It's red, but I'm pretty sure they can't get... Yeah, it's really hard to tell just from the colour alone, but I've played on this map before, both in team games and 1 versus 1s, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, bots cannot walk over the very top of the ridge. I think they can walk a little bit up, but they can't actually go over that, unlike spiders. So there you go. Yeah, yes, the map has got a bit of terrain variation. It's, well, it's a bit of height variation at the very least. And yeah, it actually does have water underneath the ground. You don't normally see that though. You actually, if you do see one of my much older games of 0K, I did a 1 versus 1 myself versus Glarfir, and yeah, I just decided, just for the hell of it, because he's relatively new, yeah, decided to actually go for a naval start on this map, and yeah, you can probably imagine how that worked out. Indeed, so yeah. So yeah, this is the sort of map where, yeah, bots and vehicles can possibly work. Aircraft obviously can work as well, it's certainly big enough for them. Spiders can mostly work only because of these ridges, and yeah. So those amphibs would kind of suck though, and naval unfortunately does not work well on this map. It, yeah, I know you wouldn't have suspected, so it's just as well you got me here to do the sleuthing around for you, just to really make sure that naval doesn't work on land, but no, apparently it does not. It's saddening times indeed. Actually, what are they saying here? Dead eye. Oh, boo, yes. No hovers, no. We're probably going to be seeing hovers, going to be inevitable. But yeah, no hovers on this map though. Instead we're going to be seeing the slow spiders versus the fast yet fragile planes. Defenders against spiders, why not? Because they can take out fleas, that's why. Indeed, nice to know. Yeah, actually, it was a pretty nice to know. Look at this. This flea alone has made twice its cost there. Very nicely done. Look at that. Ooh, nice and shimmery and all that. Very fancy shimmering effect. Too bad you can't really see that unless if you really zoom in on that. Oh well. Too bad, so sad. Actually, I haven't really seen too much in terms of actual mobile units from GoogleFrog. He's just gone for fleas, very cost-effective fleas, but fleas nonetheless. Ah, too bad. Well, that flea was a true hero. Sniped, is he? Well, yeah, I suppose he does have some defenders set up, and he's got a freaking tarantula. Come on, man. And besides, he is keeping the bomber numbers pretty low as well, or at least they seem to be low at the moment for Fealthas. Pretty sure he had more than 1 bomber before. In either case, yeah, his Raven is going to get intercepted. Very nice interception by the tarantula. Is it actually on fight move? No, he's actually moving it, microing it around. I'm not sure why he... yeah, because they can definitely take a bomber strike, so I don't know why he didn't just keep pushing it forward. Now we've got someone randomly, some random spectator randomly drawing on the field there. Why not? I don't know who actually that is, but it looks like Flores is cleaning that up. why not? Why not just do a bit of drawing while we're at it? Yeah, indeed. Actually, wait a minute, I think you can see... Yeah, actually, you can get like a little effect there. It's just all spectators, but there you go. Just for the hell of it, no real reason. Yeah, not too much in terms of actual mobile units for GoogleFrog. He's just been spamming those defenders. Makes sense really, given the fact that he's up against an air player. But Fealthas, he is not failing to notice though. Going to be going for a Cloakybot Factory switch at the 5 minutes mark, so not too early for a 1 versus 1 anyway. And this flea is... I don't think you can see. No, I think it's too far to see the Cloakybot Factory. Again, I should have checked to see what that damn command was for view history, but well, I'll just have to look it up a bit later on. Finally, GoogleFrog is actually coming up with one single venom, but he's actually come up with an actual anti-ground unit that's not a flea, so that's something. Not going for a factory switch himself though. And it looks like Fealthas has completely given up on planes, going straight for cloakies. Got on a minimum priority for some reason, no repeats either, and a whole bunch of scythes, so it should be interesting to see how that works out. The flea has been taken out as well, so no more scouting information for GoogleFrog except for this flea here. And yeah, as you can see, GoogleFrog, he's not overcommitting on anti-air though. He only has one single tarantula. And why is it? Oh, okay, it's Windgen, the other one's radar tower. Yeah, he's not overcommitting on anti-air at all, and of course these defenders, of course, while they can target the bombers just fine, they can also target ground forces just fine, so they should do just fine against a couple of glaives. The thing with this map, of course, is that the Cloakybots are going to have a very good speed advantage over the spiders of GoogleFrog, but GoogleFrog at the same time, well, I'll be damned. He does have the army advantage, but his metal is pretty crappy compared to Fealthas. I'll be damned. Well, okay, we might actually see a very hard-fought series of games between these. Sorry, series of games between these two. Actually, we'll see what happens. All I know is that we've got horrible electrical death being inflicted upon these glaives, not working out too well for Fealthas. Yeah, GoogleFrog, he does have an army advantage, but Fealthas has got the economy, so provided that he doesn't throw everything away, he should be just fine and dandy. He has to watch out. Actually, no, geothermal plant should be alright. Probably wouldn't hurt to build at least one single Lotus around it, you know, to stop some, you know, stop some cheesy flea harass or something like that. But yeah, there you go. Dreaded Rocco spam. Yep, well, versus spiders as well. So what else are you going to do, eh? Well, except for the odd glaive as well as hammer and such, but yeah, these scythes, they're, well, given how much Fealthas has invested in them, they're going to very significantly influence the outcome of this game. And oh no, given their view radiuses, no, they cannot see the missile silo. Ouch. GoogleFrog was actually starting to build up a missile silo of all things. Oh no, now they can. Okay. Oh, very nice bit of scouting there, managing to get that critical bit of information about that missile silo, and especially given that this is a 1 versus 1, you don't normally see things like silos at all. And what is its range? Damn it, I want to see. I can't see its range, of course, because it's already under construction. Because you can see its range when you're trying to plop it down. And yep, here they go. The commander's going to die. Maybe. Nope. Oh no, he is... he's gonna die, yeah, thanks to the Roccos more so than anything else, but still, very nicely done actually. He'll lose all of his scythes, and he did group up his Roccos a bit there, but yeah, worth it? Yeah, probably not. Wow. But anyway, yeah, the silo, yeah, you can see the individual ranges for each missile, but yeah, you can't actually see the range for the missiles beforehand, unless if you're actually plopping it down, and won't do that just yet, actually, I might do that a bit later. Just to compare, it would have been able to reach quite a bit, it should be able to reach the main base of Fealthas at the very least. Not that it matters because it's dead, and ultimate solution indeed would be the crab. And of course the ultimate solution against the crab would be a sniper or two by Fealthas. In fact, actually 2 snipers in that, actually actually. How much damage did they do each? 1500, I believe. So, okay, we need 3 snipers to one-shot the Crab, and they'll have to be moving at the same time as well, actually. Which inevitably it'll have to do to get from one position to another, unless if GoogleFrog gets it on like one of those transports that you get from the gunship factory, the Valkyrie or whatever it's called. In case, yeah, sharpshooters definitely could come in handy, or ravens. Ravens would do great as well, but yeah, sharpshooters and ravens coming in, so Fealthas definitely doing everything he can to cover his bases there. While at the same time, GoogleFrog coming out with what's the only real hard counter the Spider Factory has for Rockos, and that is of course the fleas. Apparently the recluses, they're actually cost effective versus the Rockos. I mean, they're not a hard counter given that they're both skirmishers, but apparently they're pretty cost effective versus the Rockos, much more so than Rockos are versus spiders. Or at least I think that's actually meant to be the case for numbers battles, if they're actually attacking in large numbers. Or even one-on-one actually. The recluses has beat them, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, indeed. And here we go. This is something I don't think I've seen at all for the entire tournament, except for the cheese game that I played against the Sponge, and that is gunships. So GoogleFrog going to be deploying that instead of airplanes. Interesting decision. Fealthas deciding to do away with planes, and of course, just as I say, that he's going to be building up a quick crane for a bit of mobile construction action. Same time, going to be looping between one Rocco to one warrior. Interesting mixture there. Snipers are basically going to be what, well, he needs to keep the snipers alive basically. He can afford to lose a few rockers here and there, but the snipers are going to be what's absolutely necessary versus the Crab of GoogleFrog. And is he building another Crab? No, he's just going to be spamming fleas. Why not? Just go for all out flea spam. Indeed. What the hell just got blown up? Was that just a flea? I think it was. I can't seem to select it with the fucking mouse for some reason, but I think these are just fleas. So the snipers revealing themselves, but they're being guarded by warriors, so there you go. Crab, interesting enough, okay, can't really see from there, but yeah, as you can see, GoogleFrog is actually keeping it right behind the ridgeline itself. I think he just wants to keep it there as a bit of a surprise. Has a very good range actually, just needs to peek over, then he can basically shell a bit of Fealthas' position. Fealthas at the same time, where is his radar? He apparently doesn't have any radar. Now he does, but before that he didn't have any radar at all. He'll be able to see actually everything on the ridgeline now that he's got the single radar tower up. Not too much in terms of anti-air for GoogleFrog. He does have a couple of defenders. Apparently the Ravens of Fealthas, hey, just don't care. Just don't care at all. And not only that, but GoogleFrog is actually going for a plane plant as well. It's just as well that Fealthas actually went for that bombing run on GoogleFrog's main base, because he would have also seen the plane plant, as well as the fact that the gunship factory is actually producing a brawler at the same time. So definitely should not be in the dark as to what's happening in GoogleFrog's base. Will he be able to stop it though? Indeed, yeah, they will die once they cloak, that's a problem. But anyway, will he be able to stop it? That's going to be an interesting question. Probably, we'll see. The problem, of course, is that Fealthas does not have any dedicated anti-air. He's got some soft anti-air in terms of defenders, and I suppose his bombers can ironically bomb the bloody gunships, because why not? I mean, that's basically the equivalent of a bomber in today's world dropping bombs on helicopters. Yeah, it's not practical, but you're going to see it happen right now. They can occasionally miss, but usually they hit, especially if they're just flying in a straight line like that. Oh, very nice actually. I think the bomber went underneath the brawler there, but oh, he's actually going to get taken out, I'll be damned. But there you go, bombers can actually function as effective anti-air versus gunships. Well, somewhat effective anti-air anyway. The fact that they can bomb gunships at all is kind of ridiculous, because yeah, it is basically like the you know, today's, you know, the real world's equivalent of a bomber just dropping bombs on a helicopter. What if that's actually ever really happened? I mean, it would probably, well, it would have certainly have happened if the helicopter was hovering to the ground, or if it was, you know, already landed on the ground, but actually flying around in the air and maneuvering around, I don't really see that happening. But well, there you go, that's 0k for you. He should just silo. Actually, that's not such a bad idea, as long as he can keep the silo defended, which he might be able to do. He could do a little bit more in terms of air sub fighters, sending them in piecemeal. Not going to work out too well at all. Nah, I don't know what the hell he was doing sending them in. He basically sends them in one at a time, for God's sake. That didn't work out too well, as you can see. Jesus. Oh well. In either case, yeah, the Crab is blind firing, and oh, very nice, taking out one sniper and something else, a gremlin apparently. But yeah, it was an interesting tactic by Fealthas actually. You don't normally see cloaked regular units being used like that versus someone with crabs. And yeah, you can see why, because you know they can stay cloaked just fine, but as soon as they decloak, the crab sort of massacres them. Especially the Roccos. The Roccos are all dead. Actually, no, where they moved back here. Okay, well the Roccos, they aren't dead, but yeah, quite a few things got blown up here. The Warriors, I suppose, are still alive, but yeah. Yeah, the Crab should be dead, actually. In fact, I'm not really sure why Fealthas didn't keep pressing on the attack there. I think he was able to keep attacking it with the Warriors. Although at the same time, GoogleFrog could have just, repositioned it back up here, but he hasn't, so... And I don't know why he hasn't tried to do something against it with the Thunderbird or try to bomb it. He's been sending the bombers way too far forward as well, actually. In fact, he's down to 0 bombers. There's another Crab here, and Fealthas is basically sending the wrong unit against him. In fact, wow, this is just mean by GoogleFrog. He's just being sadistic now. But yep, he's actually going to terraform a nice little spire for the Crab to sit on, and yeah, of course, it's going to because it uses it like a parabolic weapon, it greatly increases its range, as you can see. Wow, to a massive, massive degree, and yeah. Yeah, it basically, I think what GoogleFrog wanted to do was basically to turn this Crab into a bit of defense for his base here, and I think he largely succeeded with that. Succeeded to a massive degree. Crab drop. But of course, if it was knocked over its perch, then the full damage probably will kill it, actually. I've done that a few times using a scuttle. Actually, that's right, I did use a scuttle at the same time. I'd use a scuttle on a Crab that was perched up like this, and it would take loads of damage, and it would sort of just go and just blow up spectacularly to various pieces on the grounds below. Great stuff, actually seeing that in action, especially when they had several Crabs and Spires, and I just went after them one by one with thingy-majingies with the scuttles. Fun times indeed. My biggest worry was of course keeping the scuttles cloaked, because I was being a bloody idiot, and I oh, okay, there we go, it actually did die. But anyway, I was being a bit of an idiot and I actually didn't have enough energy to keep them cloaked, so whoops. Bit of a mistake by myself there, and this is going to be a mistake by Fealthas though. So instead of going with anything long-ranged, he's gone with a Scorpion. I can't say that I agree with that at all. I mean, how much does a nuke, well, just attack silo cost? Let's see, super duper, and 1200 compared to 3000 for that. Ah, here we go, now we can see it's the range there. So he was building it around here, so yep, basically if he was to build around here, yeah, he basically, yeah, main base of GoogleFrog could very easily be within range of the silo by Fealthas there. Huh. Apparently the seismic missile has got even more range, although, to be honest, I've never actually seen the seismic missile ever being used. Literally never. I've never seen it being used in a replay that someone's commentated on. Well, that really Shadow Fury has commentated on. I've never seen it in a game that I've played on. I've never seen it in a game that I've commentated on either. It's just literally never been seen, and no one's even mentioned it ever. At least not that I've heard anyway of the seismic missile. It's just it's a utility missile. Basically what it does is that it smooths out a large swath of terrain, and I mean it's nice if you're playing as vehicles or something across rough terrain, but it's, yeah, it's just not really that useful. Even if you're playing against rough terrain, chances are the seismic missile is probably not going to make that much of a difference. Anyway, red backdrop would be better. Red backdrop. Oh, okay, no, dropping it with gunship. Yeah, with gunship transport, should I say? Indeed. Interesting. Still has this cloaked, but I think, yeah, well, GoogleFrog, he's got all these fleas here anyway, so if these guys make a move, he'll know about it. He won't know about the scorpion, though. What is its detection radius? Okay, well, we can get fairly close, I suppose. And there we go, these guys are going to attack, and yeah, run straight into the fleas, revealing themselves. And we've got 2 crabes, actually, being used as defense. Ouch. Yeah, the second these guys get decloaked, yeah. Just going to get shelled to hell and back, and disarmed to hell and back as well, actually. And Fealthas, well, actually, I failed to notice he actually had a massive economic advantage as well, so... Well, it looks like Fealthas is probably going to get the first game. He's also got a massive army advantage as well. I disagree with the Scorpion, though, to be honest, but it's there, so it's done damage, it's not dead. I still disagree with it, though, but especially now that it's been decloaked, he should have sent it back to get it to recloak and then to ambush the Crabe. I'm assuming that's what the plan was, yeah, to ambush the Crabe and using the multi-stunner, disarming the crap out of it. Although even then, look at it, it only not disarmed it, sorry, stunned it. It only stunned it for like a couple of seconds even. Jesus Christ. A bit of a waste in my opinion, but really, GoogleFrog's army and economy are so much smaller, it's not going to make much of a difference anyway, but Eco-OP, that's right. Indeed. Actually, no airdrops either by Google. It made quite a bit of a difference, dropping these crabes onto like these little ridges. But, nope, not going to do that. And the Scorpion's still alive. I'll be damned. Apparently, oh no, it's in range of the GoogleFrog's crabes, one of them anyway, but can't fire it for some reason. Interesting. Well, these things can take a bit of damage. I'll give them that, but still don't agree with the way they're being used today. These are meant to be more like ambushes, but they're being used more like a Dante. I mean, really, Fealthas could have been much more efficient of a Dante, most likely. Though Dante might have had some issues maybe going after the Crabe. Actually, no, it's not like it's that far away in terms of actual distance. Yeah, I don't know, might have had some troubles, maybe. But then again, I mean, look, these guys can just fire up pretty easily, so there we go. This thing's actually been... actually has been... perma stunned, and there we go, down he goes. So yeah, I don't know why GoogleFrog has not resigned yet. He doesn't have much of a hope. He's going to try to rebuild, apparently, well, building up a caretaker there, but really he's got nothing. Got nothing. And there we go. There's a GG by him. It was a good effort by GoogleFrog, actually. I definitely was a bit surprised there. Fealthas definitely seems to be a bit of a rising star at the moment. So that's the first game done. I shall see you all in the next one.